Yep, it finally happened to me. Hey guys, Vass here from Aussie Playground, and today we're going to be pimping out the LaTrax Alias. Now this has been an absolutely fantastic quad. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's easy to fly, it does a lot of cool stunts, and it's very durable as well. But unfortunately, after almost 40 battery packs, this motor here has finally decided to give up the ghost. And to be quite honest with you, I thought I'd actually dodged a bullet, because I was heading towards 40 packs on this quad, and I know a lot of people out there have been complaining about the motors failing on the Alias, and I thought, well, you know, it's probably not going to happen to me. But of course that's not to be the case. This guy here decided to die. Now, thankfully, the day after this motor died, a good friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, Flying Ryan, who does a lot of reviews on some smaller quads, including the Alias and a few others, he uploaded a video of him flying his Alias with some upgraded motors. So he left his details in the description for the site where he got these motors from, and that was Micro Motor Warehouse, and I'll have the details in my video description as well for you guys to check out. These are the little motors that I picked up from there. They're not very expensive. I believe that these are about the same price as the stock motors, except of course these are a little bit more powerful and they should last a lot longer. So I went for these. They do have another version which actually are supposed to be a lot faster, but unfortunately they didn't have those in stock at the time, so I just opted for these. I figured these will probably be enough. I mean, if I really get bored and want to go crazy, maybe I'll do something else later on down the line and get those other ones. But I figured, you know what, I'm not going to stop here, because LaTrax actually released some attachments to go on the Alias, and I thought, wow, okay, time to get some add-ons. So I picked up the camera, and I'll have the model numbers for all this in the video description as well. This is a 720p HD 60 frames per second camera, so I picked that up, and I also picked up the wide angle lens, which, you know, should sort of give me a little bit of a wider angle. Obviously that's its purpose, but then I started thinking, oh, you know what, I'm not going to stop here, I'm going to go all out. And a little while ago I saw a video from a good friend of mine as well, GeoStealth R1, who has also got an Alias, and he transformed his quad to white. So here I have a bunch of stuff that I picked up from Tower Hobbies, and we're going to be transforming the LaTrax Alias to a white quad with the built-in camera and some more powerful motors, and it should be a lot of fun to pull this guy apart and put it all back together, and yeah, give you some flight footage and also some onboard footage from the attached camera. So I'm going to get to work now. We're going to come back and I'll show you the finished product. Okay guys, so there we go, all done. This is now my Alias, and it is just stunning to see it like this in black and white. Very simple. You can see here that all my lights are actually white. I'm not sure if this is going to be a problem for me at this stage, because I don't do a lot of night flying, but if I find that orientation is an issue, because I really only have just one light at the back here that's blue, then I may need to swap these two rear ones for some blue ones, which you can get with the blue quad, and that would hopefully solve our problem. Now I still need to calibrate my camera to the remote, so I know, you know, how to turn the camera on and off and take photos and video and all that. But the motors and everything else works just fine. I have tested out the quad, so everything is working no problem at all. Now I'm just going to very quickly show you what you need to do to swap out the frame or to swap out motors or anything like that if you have an issue with your quad, if you haven't done this in the past. So this is the remainder of the frame from the original quad, and underneath this you have a little battery tray, which kind of like, it's a bit of a cage really, and it's held together with 4 screws. You take out those 4 screws, the whole cage will come off, and then you can start unplugging your motors and taking everything out. All these reflective arms as well will come off. They kind of hook in if I can get it. They kind of hook in like so you can start pulling these guys out and replacing whatever you need to replace. Now you'll notice here that the motors have actually got two different color wires. You've got two motors that spin clockwise and two motors that spin counterclockwise. These two, black and white and red and black, will need to be positioned opposite each other. Now the new motors that I got were not labeled, and I didn't have any instructions as to, you know, which way which one went where. So what I did is I just followed the original layout of the quad. So in this case I had my black and white ones on this side, which means that the other black and white one needed to be on the opposite corner, and then obviously the other two went that way. And that's exactly what I did on the frame. The new motors had very similar wiring. I had two that were black and white and two that were actually blue and red, which obviously matched to these red and black ones. Pretty straightforward swap, no big deal. It's just a matter of knowing your way around the quad and what screws you need to take out and what order and all that sort of thing. The props of course come off with just a single screw that's mounted on the top here. You can take them off, the whole thing kind of disassembles. There's a ball bearing on the top and bottom of this frame, so there'll be a ball bearing up here and another one underneath there. You need to remove those and actually put it into the new frame as well. The camera, which has the 120 degree lens in it at the moment, was kind of a strange swap. I wasn't quite sure how this lens attached, but you actually need to replace the entire head of the camera. So that requires you to actually open up the casing and actually yeah, just replace the lens. So this is the original one. That's the optional one that I bought, and should give me a much wider angle to be able to get a lot more stuff in shot. So I'll very quickly just give you guys a quick demo just to make sure that everything is working okay, so you guys know. So I got my remote here. We'll turn this guy on, and you can see everything works just fine. A little wobbly, but yeah, it's just a quick demo to let you know that everything works okay. So that's pretty much it from me, guys. Don't forget to check out the video description for all the part numbers for the quad, as well as the link to Micro Motor Warehouse if you want to go check that out and get some replacement motors for your quad. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time.